Hello, fellow comic book lovers, collectors, and aficionados. Vin Crew here with his recap, his top pickups for the year. There's probably about, 35 in my Marvel and DC that I'll do now, and then there's another 25 in the independents and variants. I always like to split it up. Usually I do my top 50, but I just don't think I bought that many books this year. I know I haven't bought any collections, but regardless, just as everyone else, it's so hard to pick your top books. I think you like every book you pick up just about. And then secondly, these may not be the most expensive books, but they are just important to me and my collection and books I've been after for a while. So let's not waste any more time and let's get into this. I'm going to start off with the Marvel. Night Nurse #1. This is a extremely hard Bronze Age Marvel book to find. The entire 4-issue series is hard to find for that matter. But also was able to pick up all 4 issues this year. So I want to upgrade my number 3, but I'm okay with. But this definitely happy with. Night Nurse #1, first appearance of Night Nurse in her own book. Sergeant Fury and the Howling Commandos 13. This is a book I've just wanted for so long. I love the cover. It's an extremely early Silver Age appearance of Captain America. And just absolutely a book I can't believe it took me this long to put into the collection. Tales of Suspense. This is 59 and 58. So this is kind of like a 2-for-1 type of thing. This is the first time that Cap shows up in Tales of Suspense, and the first time he co-headlines with Iron Man in the next issue. So I'm happy to have those two. Tales of Suspense 49, the first time the X-Men cross over, and it just happens to be X-Men with Iron Man. And I just love that salmon cover. Always love the salmon background of this cover. It's just something I've always gravitated to. Avengers #6. Boy, I remember when this book was screaming hot, right around, I think it was Civil War. And obviously it's cooled down a little bit, but still an expensive book. This is the first appearance of Zemo in the Masters of Evil. And just a book I needed for my Avengers run. And then speaking of Avengers, I was very fortunate to pick up #3 also. This is the first time the Submariner and the Hulk team up, and I believe that this is where the Hulk leaves the Avengers, and it's obviously the 3rd appearance of the Avengers. So a lot of stuff going on with this book. Tales to Astonish 44, the first appearance of Janet Van Dyne and the Wasp. One of the original members of the Avengers, and probably the most important female Avenger, arguably. Journey into Mystery #112. This might be the first time that the Hulk and Thor battle, but if not, it's an early time that happens. It's also the origin of Loki. And a book I've just been wanting for so long and very happy to have it. And speaking of Loki, book I've been wanting also, Journey into Mystery 85, the first appearance of Loki. Arguably one of the top 5 villains in the Marvel Universe. Obviously could be the second most important villain in the MCU behind Thanos. And just a book that just has been so unattainable for so long, and thanks to a fellow YouTuber, I was able to acquire it, and very, very, very happy about that. Some Fantastic Four books. This is Fantastic Four 28, the first time the X-Men and the Fantastic Four cross over. Number 27. This is the first time Doctor Strange is in a book other than Strange Tales, and just happens to be in this book here. So tough, and this is another cover. I just love the background. Whenever I see with the green Doctor Strange, whenever I see it, it's another book I just kind of hone in on and gravitate to. Obviously, a bad time to start working on my Fantastic Four, but I'm slowly nibbling at it, and we'll see how far I can get with it. Fantastic Four #25, believe it's the second time that the Hulk and Thing battle. Still looking for a 12. Wanted it this year, but just wasn't able to afford it. And hopefully next year I can do it. 2019, but happy to have this book. Fantastic Four 11, the first appearance of the Impossible Man. This is a character, the Impossible Man. Sometimes he's a foe, sometimes he's an ally, but every time he's a pain in the butt, kind of like Batmite or the Great Gazoo or whatever. And my earliest Fantastic Four. So Hulk 180. Was very fortunate to be able to upgrade my 180. This is the first cameo appearance of Wolverine. My 181, I'm very happy with that. Obviously, if I could ever get another one, I would, but very happy with that book. My 180, it was just horrible condition, and was fortunate enough to be able to upgrade that and get a copy I'm happy with. So some early Amazing Spider-Mans. This is number 18, the first appearance of Ned Leeds, and I believe it's the fourth appearance of the Sandman. And Spider-Man number 20, first appearance of the Scorpion. Anytime you can get a first appearance of a Amazing Spider-Man villain, I would suggest doing that. And Amazing Spider-Man number 10, my oldest Spider-Man, and the first appearance of the Enforcers. Moving on to X-Men, I was able to pick up number 3. This is the first appearance of the Blob, and obviously the third appearance of the X-Men. And I was lastly able to pick up X-Men number 2, the second appearance of the X-Men, and the first appearance of the Vanisher. All right, moving along on to DC now. This is Mystery in Space 61. This is the archetype or the first appearance of what turns into be the Red Tornado, which is just this gentleman right here, the Tornado Tyrant. And I've always had a soft spot for Red Tornado as one of my favorite DC characters. And so when I found out about this book, I had to pick it up. And I hated what they did with that character in Supergirl, but happy to have this book in the collection. Flash 122. This is the first appearance of the Top. Anytime you can find a first appearance of the Flash Rogues Gallery, I would suggest picking it up along with Batman and Spider-Man. DC 100-page Super Spectacular number 5. People claim this to be one of the hardest Bronze Age books to find, and yet alone in high grade. So I was able to acquire that. Venture Comics 269, first appearance of Aqualad, one of the founding members of the Teen Titans. Then Detective Comics 267, first appearance of this character right here, Batmite. Anytime, once again, you can find a first appearance of anything Batman or Spider-Man. God, I cannot stress it enough. Pick it up if you can. Brave and Bold 34. This is the first appearance of the Silver Age Hawkman. And I also believe it's the Silver Age, first appearance of Silver Age, if not the first appearance of Hawk Girl. All right. Showcase 44. This is the first appearance of the Atom and Ray Palmer. Detective Comics 298, the first appearance of the Silver Age Clayface. Just once again, another Batman villain. Superman 123, showed this in my last haul. This is the prototype or the tryout version of a Supergirl. This is not the same Supergirl that appears in 252, but this does predate Action Comics 252. So happy to have that. Showcase 17, first appearance of Adam Strange. Granted, he's not the most popular DC character, but just one that has been around forever and a day. And happy to have it in my collection. Brave and the Bold 30, the third appearance of the Justice League, and the first appearance of Professor Ivo and Amazo. And there could be an argument made that this book could be equally or as just important, if not maybe a little more, than Brave and the Bold 29. Now, granted, it's the second appearance in 29 of the Justice League versus the third, but there's no first appearances in that book, whereas this one has the first appearance of Amazo and Ivo, who can have an argument made to be one of the more important villains of the Justice League. All right, My Greatest Adventures number 80, the first appearance of Doom Patrol. And obviously they've been introduced already into the DC streaming service via the Titans, but they will be getting their own streaming service, or their own show in the streaming service of DC. So happy to have that. Flash 110, excuse me. First appearance of Wally West, who becomes Kid Flash, and the first appearance of Weather Wizard. So this was a book I didn't think I would acquire for quite some time, but all the stars aligned and I was able to do it. All right, Green Lantern number 1. First time Hal Jordan has his own series, which goes on forever and a day. In fact, he's still in his own series. Yeah, this is another book I didn't think I would acquire. I thought, honestly, I would acquire one of the showcases before I would get this book, but once again, the stars aligned and I was able to acquire this. A couple of slabs, granted they're low grade, but for me, I'm okay with it for now. I just can't afford high grade books. This is Superboy 68. It's a 2.0. It's the first appearance of Bizarro. And for some reason, this book is just stupidly expensive. And then Batman 139, the first appearance of the original Batgirl, not the Barbara Gordon Batgirl, but the, is it Kate Kane? But anyways, Kathy Kane, I think it is. And yeah, very happy to have this. So yeah, and this is a 2.5. But yeah, that's my books, my DC and Marvel. So look for my independents and variants next. Vin Cruz signing off.